From the culture of the American South, where roots hold stories, comes a natural deodorant inspired by generations of wisdom. Introducing Rootwork, the all-natural foundational Black American-based deodorant infused with the magic of High John the Conqueror root. Our unique blend enriched with this legendary root offers 24-hour protection, rooted in the power of nature. Embrace this deodorant that celebrates culture, history, and your well-being. Unlock the magic of Rootwork today. Experience the pure essence of nature. Visit rootworkstyle.com and make the switch to a healthier, cultural choice.
Let's get I can't pronounce your name. Looks like an East African name, ma'am. What's your name, ma'am? We got a lot of people in here in the middle of the night. We almost got 1,000 people, and it's in the middle of the night, man. Glad to have y'all in here. Miss Ma'am, I think you have an East African name. I don't know what your name is, but I can't pronounce it.
Hara. Hi, Tariq.
How are you, ma'am?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am good. Thank you so much. Now, are you from Somalia or Eritrea?
Ethiopia.
Ethiopia. All right. So what's on your mind, ma'am?
No, I just want to make sure that you know I do support you and your documentary films of hidden colors and all that stuff. But what I don't understand is what is the benefit of disconnecting foundational Black Americans from Africans?
Now, here's the thing. Why do you disconnect with us acknowledging our lineage? Because all we're doing is acknowledging our lineage, which is a real lineage. So where do you get disconnect with that?
Because at one point you used to talk about Pan-Africanism and then now you don't. You're against it.
When have I used the term Pan-African?
I have heard you say that.
When have I said that? What's Pan-African? I've really never used that term.
No, you were interviewing Nipsey Hussle, and then he
Yes.
said something about Pan-Africanism.
I don't remember saying anything about Pan-African, but I acknowledge Black people globally. What's Pan-Africanism? What is it?
Pan-Africanism is strengthening African people all over the world.
Right. Okay. I've always been about uplifting Black people globally. I just don't use the term Pan-Africanism because I usually that has a connotation of we have to all move to Africa somewhere, and I've never been on that. I've wanted dual citizenship where we can just go back and forth and do trade, but I've always been about lifting Black people up globally. I just left Fiji. There's a bunch of Black people over there, lovely people, love connecting with them, want to go back with them. So is that Pan-Africanism? I just like being around Black people globally. You understand? Even in Africa, when I go to Africa, I show love. I like to connect with brothers and sisters in Africa. Much love to them. So the term Pan-Africanism, I don't know, but the definition is all the way out there. And I'm still about uplifting Black people globally. If I see a Black person anywhere in the world, I'm going to make sure that Black person is cool. I haven't changed on that. I'm still a foundational Black American, right?
Well, I understand and I do support that, and I want foundational Black Americans to be strong. But at the same time, I think the connection between Africans and foundational Black Americans will give power.
Here's the problem, and this is the problem. I want to make sure everybody Black globally is going to be good and we can all be on the same page. But what I'm not going to do is have it be one-sided. And that's been the problem. We've been the ones doing the heavy lifting. Nobody in Africa is really doing no heavy lifting for us. Nobody really is trying to lift up the global fence for us. Nobody's over there trying to advocate for dual citizenship, no land allotment so we can come over and build. Nothing. So it's been very one-sided.
That's not true, Tariq. I think I believe Ghana had invited African Americans or foundational Black
No,
to come.
Ghana, no. people with that Ghana stuff. Ghana has something called the right to abode and the year of return, which is basically a tourist trap where we can go over there and drop off some tourism money, go over there and visit the slave dungeons. They're not really giving us easy access to dual citizenship. And when black people do patriate over there, it's horror stories where there's real estate scams. There's a bunch of finessing going on with foundational black Americans going over there. Ghana is not opening those floodgates like they're making it seem. It ain't like that at all. So let's stop with that Ghana thing. But
Okay,
again,
well,
go ahead.
okay. Have you been in Ethiopia?
I have been to Ethiopia for a quick minute. I have been to Ethiopia. Cool
And what's
people.
okay? What's wrong with that? Do you think foundational Black Americans can go to Ethiopia and open up a business or do some
Hey,
sort
brother
of
Tariq, how you doing?
I don't know, like interaction?
I'm gonna get you in a minute, Sir Major. But yeah, oh, in Ethiopia, they're not really opening the door for us to go in with a fast track of dual citizenship or own. We got to go to, if we go to Ethiopia or any other of those African nations as foundational black Americans, we got to go holding a bag. We got to go bring a whole ton of money over there. We have to have bank accounts. We got to show them. It's a whole thing. They want to make sure we're papered up if we go over there. Whereas people can come over here with $3 and flies in their pocket and bam, they dump them off in the black community, and here we are with them, and then they hate us. They come over here talking about we're Jareers and Abids and all of this
Who?
weird shit.
Who? See, I think you're stereotyping though. You're generalizing and stereotyping everyone.
Ma'am.
Because I no, wait a second, please. I personally, I just told you I support your work, right? I
Hmm.
just told you in my family, everyone has a poster of Malcolm X and Dr. Martin Luther. I think, I mean, in my family though, you see, but you're generalizing, saying that we hate you, and I think
I'm not
creating
saying
that.
you all do, but I'm saying generally there's a lot of contempt with a lot of people from your culture when they get here. And they set up their little enclaves and communities outside of us. And there's a narrative of stay away from the the Abids and the Jarirs. And that's the
What does that
reality.
mean? What does that mean?
There, ma'am, there's a reason why the Ethiopians come over here and set up their own little enclaves in their communities where they don't share their resources with us. Now, they get resources from us. We'll patronize their businesses in the whole 9 yards, but they make sure that money doesn't trickle back into Black society, foundational Black American society. They set up their own churches, their own schools, so that money can funnel over to them. But any type of um, Black program that we done fought for, they'll be first in line with that. You understand?
Yeah,
Uh,
I understand what you're saying, and if that's the case, I mean that is really wrong. But my question for you is: have you done any educational, um, I don't know, like going to their even to church or business place
for
and give
what?
some kind of educational? I think
For what?
that would maybe some people may not even know anything any better. So if you do educate and then they still do something like that, then I understand to kind of
Why
cast
we
them
got to
off.
do that? Why we got to do that though? What? How does that benefit me at all? If I go to
because because because
because
there is powers in numbers.
not no, not if the numbers are not trying to build anything as a Black coalition. If you look at yourself as your own ethnic group, which is fine, and the general consensus is we got to stay away from those foundational Black Americans. And ma'am, let's be real. Here on these Twitter spaces, we've had a lot of Ethiopians and Somalis call up, and these people are very vicious and nasty towards us, ma'am. So this we do have some cool ones, but ma'am, these Twitter spaces, they let us know how a lot of these people really feel about us. And it's a horrible disposition that they have towards us. So we don't really benefit from them coming over. We've already done a lot for Ethiopia as foundational Black Americans during the 1930s when Italy was about to colonize Ethiopia. It was foundational Black Americans lining up trying to go over there to help them fight. We've done a lot of things to help them maintain their independence, and too many people from there have vitriol towards us, and that's very unacceptable.
Yeah, and I agree with that one. And I don't know that, I guess, because I come
Right.
from from a family that uphold foundational Black Americans. But I think the solution for me is to educate my people more and my community. That's what I would take from here. But I hope you do the same.
Hmm. All right, man. But thank you so much, dear. Sir Major, let me get Sir Major in here. Because, yeah,
What's up,
there's.
brother?
'Cause
Tariq?
I'm good, brother. How are you, sir?
Great, great. Thanks for setting the record straight. And I just want to double down on this. They have songs like "Stay Away from the Akata," which is posted on YouTube, right? And we know what Akata is, an ethnic bigoted slur that means cotton picking inward. Okay, that's what Akata really means. They'll tell us it
Yeah.
means wild cat, lost cat, someone who lost their way. They have Africans and most immigrants um, have a general attitude and disdain for foundational Black Americans. They have their own ethnic bigoted slurs that they created specifically for us, a B, Jadir, and all type of other stuff. There were two Black sisters from Detroit who fell for that year of return BS, and they went over
Yeah.
to Ghana and they were murdered. There was a land
Yep.
dispute subsequently, and they won that court embattlement, and they were murdered at because they won that court battle. So really, Black folks, that year return BS, that's a trick to get you to invest and develop their lands because they can't do it or they won't do it. The question is this: why aren't they appealing to their own group of people who fled their country to go back and build and invest? They want Black American dollars to do that. The other part that I wanted to ask you was this, and this is a genuine question. Um, am I wrong, Tariq, for getting upset or feeling some type of way of seeing Haitians like Kai Sinat get on social media or stream, throwing up his flag, singing his music? My thing is like, yo, if you feel that proudly about your country, go home and return and build that nation up. Am I wrong for feeling some type of way when we got Haitians coming over to America making viral videos saying, "Hey, Black Americans need to get on code with us and fight for a Haitian independence federal holiday in America"?
Right. I saw that. Yeah. 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 But let me touch on that. But thank you so much, brother. Yeah. So, Casa, now you have a lot of these cats on certain social media platforms. And, a lot of them, their audience is white. Like Kai Cenat, most of his audience is primarily white. A lot of these dudes, the King Backs, these guys have white audiences. And a lot of them kind of get into a lot of stereotypical stuff, a lot of real goofy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They, and my thing is, in a way, yes, let them know that you're something else. In a way, let them know, hey, this we ain't FBA. So in a way, hey, I'm kind of cool with that. But don't ask us to fight for you to get holidays over here. Now, if you want to get a holiday about your culture back home, that's fine. But over here, that really doesn't make any sense. But Roxanne, let me get Roxanne, then Black Alpha in here. Roxanne,
Okay, hello, everybody. Hello, panel. Hello, brother Tariq.
hello,
Um,
dear.
the subject is what's wrong with a foundational Black Americans. Okay, there is no foundation. It never was a foundation. The foundation has always been stolen, taken, uh raped, killed, uh annihilated. Every time the Black folks try to build any type of foundation, it has been torn down. Okay, so staying on the subject, I'm not going to speak on all the other speakers before because um I'm just going to say what I want to say. Who brings drugs into America? Who see? And then it's so much going on in the world right now with the music, the corporations, the evil entities. They have always the witchcraftery and all the shit that's going on in the world today across the world. Okay? And without getting all over the place, I want to stay on the subject. there has never been a foundation for Black people, because every time we build a foundation of hope, of the future for our children, not just our kids, Black people, we think about everybody. We the problem is we putting people before us. We keep putting, people in the same category. No, Black is Black, white is white, whatever culture you from, or whatever country you from, that's what you represent.
Now
Your
let's slow it
city.
down. All right, let's slow it down for a minute. Now, if we ain't the foundation, what is?
There is no foundation for Black Americans.
Okay, well, what's
Because
the?
every time,
Hold on, dear.
just
Hold on.
they burn it down. Every
Right,
time it's been burnt down. Every
right.
time Black people did build a foundation, every time history has shown that they burn it down. So
And then what
that's
do we
why
do?
it's a lot of,
And what do we do?
we separated.
We
We
separate.
separated. We said forget it. We stopped fighting. We stopped fighting for a foundation.
When
That's
did we
why
stop
there is
fighting?
no support.
When did we stop fighting? You lost me, sister. When did we stop fighting for a foundation? When did we stop?
Um, we could go back in history. The Black Panther Party, they annihilated that. They broke down, infiltrated a lot of Black organizations and tore it down.
And
You
they
know,
and more Black organizations rebuild after the Black Panthers, ma'am.
they rebuild, but where's the foundation? That's what
The
I'm saying. You saying what's
is
wrong with the,
you. You're the foundation, ma'am. The foundation is you.
and I'm building my foundation for everybody. This is what I'm saying.
Just
Nobody.
hold on, sister, because what foundation does America have? What is the foundation of America? Who is the foundation of America?
There is no foundation.
You have to have a foundation
It's
in order
been
to build
broken.
something.
The foundation is broken.
How so, ma'am?
Look at reality. Look what's going on in the world. Look at what's going on in the world. Where, you tell me, where's the foundation?
The foundation is us.
Okay, it's
We are
us,
as
but
people, we are the foundation, ma'am.
okay, so where is our land? Where is our communities going? Where's our where are we going? Where is the foundation?
We are the foundation and we are fighting white supremacy globally. You understand?
Okay, so can you agree that our foundation is constantly being attacked and torn down?
Yeah.
That's my
We're
point.
our
That's my point.
infrastructures are being attacked constantly.
Yeah, and as
And we
individuals,
stand and we are not broken. We
yeah,
can
no,
still
we're not broken. We're
we
not
ain't
broken.
broken.
But when
We ain't broken at all. We turn up, we still turn up as foundational Black Americans. We'll take this shit to the streets real quick. And
okay,
we'll
but as
rebuild if
in
we need, and we will rebuild if we need to, because the foundation is you. We are the foundation. The
okay,
spirit and
so
the energy and the mindset, that's the foundation,
okay,
man.
so
That's
maybe
why, ma'am, that's why when we can go somewhere and get some shit popping.
okay,
And,
so
and then it'll get attacked, and then we go somewhere else and get it popping again, ma'am.
oh, okay, that's fine. That's fine. What I'm saying is, as far as individual foundation, we all have our individual foundation, right? But how about all them foundations come together and build a larger, a bigger foundation, a
Okay,
solid foundation?
okay, all right.
Because what we seeing, yeah, I do my part, you do your part. It's a lot of individuals that,
Okay, okay. Let me land her plane. She's just kind of saying the word foundation over and over again. Okay, now, ma'am, that sounds like your spirit about to get broken. Let's be very clear. We are the foundation as people. As a people, we have survived all of this shit. These people have destroyed what infrastructures we created. We go back and build again. We do things in a covert way. We create infrastructures covertly. We created music covertly. When they said you can't have this, we created some other shit covertly that they didn't even know about. We are the goddamn foundation. See, that's almost tether talk that sister has. I should have asked where she's from. When these folks sit up and say, you can't have that, we'll go build it somewhere else and we'll do it covertly and still maintain the cultural continuity that we need to survive. That's what makes us the foundation, because they didn't break us. When they told us, hey, you guys can't read, you can't read books, we created a Tut language where we taught each other secretly how to read. That's why most people don't even know about Tut to this day. When they told us you can't have them drums over here sending messages to each other, we learned how to do the pat and juba and the stomp dance in order to use our bodies as percussions so we can send messages to each other. That's a foundation, and that foundation is still seen in the Greek step dance and other things that we do today. When they say we couldn't eat a certain food, we created our own foods out of what they gave us. That's a foundation. When they deprived us of one thing, we created something else. When they told us to go out here and keep our mouths shut and just sing, we created songs that sent messages to each other, gospel songs and hymns that would send messages to each other on how to get back at these white supremacists. That's a foundation. They didn't break us just because they attacked the infrastructures or whatever we built. The spirit and the mindset is still here, and that's never been broken. Collectively, yeah, we do have some, yeah, we got some broken niggas here and there, but collectively, we haven't been broken. You understand? And we have Teddy, somebody named Teddy, doing the thumbs down. I don't know. We'll get you up, Teddy, in a second. Let me get my brother Black Alpha Network in. Then we're going to get Teddy in here. But Black Alpha, let me have you on, buddy.
What's up, brother? How you feeling, family?
I'm good, man.
Man, thanks for dropping receipts tonight, brother, because it's much needed with all the babble going on here, brother. I appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Main thing, brother, I want to say is that, first off, I hate to respond to that last person, but yes, the foundation is right here. If you want to see foundational Black Americans, look in the mirror. I always tell people there be no USA without FBA, so make no distinction between that. We are always the foundation, will always be the foundation. But to the point of the space, brother, I'm tired of people always speaking about how we used to uplift Africans and Black people across the world. Just because we did that, that never made us a Pan-African. That just made people who fought global supremacy. Simple facts. And the fact that we delineate, that does not mean that we hate Africans. That just means that we're handling our own business, doing our own thing in our own lane, the same way everybody else does. We're doing it right now. So Mr. Mutombo ain't got to like it. Dr. Kubar Vasquez ain't got to like it, but they got to deal with it. Salute to you, FBA, brother.
Man, much respect, brother. So let's get this Teddy Cristiano. This is a Latino cat who keeps thumbing down. Teddy,
Yo, what's up, Tariq?
what's going on, Teddy? So what's with the thumbs down? Do you disagree with what we're saying here?
I'm actually not Latino exactly, but I do live in the Florida area.
Oh,
I mean,
you're not Latino
everybody.
with a name like Cristiano? What is that? Or is that a
I'm
stage?
a black.
Go ahead, Teddy.
Yeah,
You're black and what?
I'm Caribbean and Italian.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Italian. What part of the Caribbean is your mom from?
How did you know that?
Because
My
those Caribbean women love going for them Italian white men. But go ahead. What is it? Is it Cuba?
No, the Cayman Islands.
It came. Okay, okay, okay. So what do you disagree with anything we're saying over here? I see a lot of thumbs down. What's that about?
I can't get reparations too. You know, I mean,
Reparations, but from who?
from America. I mean, I was born here. My father was born here. My grandparents were born here, and then before that, they came, through Ellis Island. So I mean, I am American partially,
And
and a lot of my ancestors helped a lot of America as well. Marcus Garvey was Jamaican. He was here in New York.
But he's not from the Cayman Islands.
Right, but he's a Caribbean tether, like you like to call Caribbean people
Right.
tethers, right?
So
So,
what you need to do is holler at CARICOM. They have a reparations movement called CARICOM, where they got all the Caribbean nations are trying to get their reparations from Britain and France and Spain. So why don't you holler at CARICOM? How are you trying to latch on to our reparations claim and you're not remotely qualified for it?
but I mean, my father was born here and my grandparents were born here. Just my great grandparents,
Your
on that side.
father's a white man from Italy. What does that mean? How would that make you qualify for reparations?
I mean, if it wasn't for Italians, now, I mean, a lot of black people wouldn't really be accepted in American society because, especially like the Southern Italians, they have a little bit of a, hue to their skin. They're a little dark, and them being
That what sense does that make? What does that mean? That don't make a lick of sense on the planet Earth. How would Italians
well,
accept it? How we were here way before Italians. This is our nation. We built it. Italians fled here.
because
Italians fled here around the 1880s. But go ahead.
but because Italians came in and made their own way and got accepted into American society, right? What happened is other groups started getting accepted in, and other minority groups, or I don't even like to use that word, minority groups got accepted in,
That's
which
not.
includes.
Where did you get that? Where did you get that lie from? When did Italians help us do anything?
It's not necessarily that they specifically help. It's that because of what they did in America, people started saying, okay, well, why don't we let in Hispanics, and then why don't we let in
That
black?
didn't work for us. No, we were already here. You didn't let us in. We were already here. We built this nation. They didn't let us in anything. Italians didn't help us, sir. In word.
But I mean, that's kind of like a segue. I mean, I was raised in the Caribbean. I was raised by my mother. So I just want to find out from you, like, what's your problem with Caribbean people or with African people or with
That's a
black
projection. Who said I
people?
had a problem with them?
I mean, okay, I see, I've actually been following you for a while. I've been a fan of yours, and I definitely support reparations for Black Americans for
But
foundational.
but how are you trying to latch on to it and you know you're not qualified for it?
But there's tons of people in America that are not qualified for something and they're getting paid. There's
Like what?
in the industry that I work in for my day job, there's Mexicans getting checks from your California governor. There's
Right.
Mexicans right now getting checks. They're getting a lot of money.
Right.
So I
You want to
mean,
run a finesse on foundational Black American society. That's what you're saying. You want to use our reparations for finesse.
I pay taxes too.
And
I am contributing, and I
those tax dollars should go to reparations for foundational Black Americans who descended from freedmen. You're not a descendant of freedmen. You're a descendant of fleed men. Y'all fled, sir. That's different.
I don't mind if you get it first. I don't even mind if you get the lion's share, but it's a little bit discriminatory to say that I should get nothing because I'm American too. I'm also a descendant of slaves.
The
I'm
Caribbean,
actually
and the slaves in the Caribbean, but not here. That's why you need to go to the Caribbean. That's not discriminatory. Is it discriminatory that we're not included in CARICOM's claim? They don't include foundational Black Americans in CARICOM. Is that discriminatory?
my mother's country right now is a colonial island. It's still a colony of Britain. The people there are a minority in their own land.
You got to holler at
Um,
Britain, brother. Holler at Britain about that, sir. We're hollering at the United States government to get what's owed to our
America
lineage. That's not a
is
part of
responsible.
that.
America is responsible. Do you know why? Because they do things to Caribbean countries, to Latin American countries, to African countries to destroy their infrastructure
But
to
they didn't do
destroy
it.
the G.
But Britain is the one that had you colonized. How come you ain't getting that Britain?
For centuries, the CIA has been going into Caribbean countries, the Latin countries, and African countries, destroying the countries. And then when we come here, you want to say, oh, this and that. But listen, what is your problem with a Caribbean person? I mean, we're both black.
Okay,
You know,
you just keep saying the same projection, sir. You're just projecting. Because I've said I don't have any problem with Caribbean people. That's a projection that you have. Are you being like your white father, sir? Are you being like your white daddy? Teddy Ravioli, hop on, brother. I mean, whatever your name is. I don't know what your name is, Teddy. Teddy, hop on. Teddy? Teddy, unmute your microphone, sir. I think you done dropped some Chef Boyardee on your microphone or something, sir. You done muted yourself. Unmute yourself, sir.
why
Teddy?
did you do that? You
Okay.
muted me.
All right. It took you a minute to unmute yourself. All right. Pay attention, Teddy, because you're just kind of babbling here. Teddy, you know good and well you're not qualified to get reparations from the United States government because you were not enslaved here in the United States. You know, that's something for foundational Black Americans. So why would you want to try to launch onto that, something you're not qualified to get? Why don't you go holler at CARICOM? Well, stand up for your lineage like we're standing up for ours, right?
Your government, okay, works with Europe to oppress Caribbean nations, Hispanic nations, and African nations. And because of your CIA, a lot of Caribbeans had to come here and compete with you, Black Americans. Because of your CIA, a lot of Hispanics had to come here and compete with you, Black Americans. Because of your CIA, a lot of Africans came here.
Well, you
Asians.
didn't have, sir, you didn't have a problem with it because your family fled here. If it was so bad, you wouldn't have fled to somebody who did all of that oppressing, sir. You hopped on the first thing smoking to come on over here and get all these benefits. So it wasn't that bad, sir. If it was that bad, you wouldn't have fled over here, sir. So you can't complain. All right? Y'all fled to
As
come over
far
here.
as Caribbean lineage goes, we did not flee. We were royalty. We did not flee.
Who was royalty?
Okay?
Who was royalty?
My grandfather was a politician in Grand Cayman. My great grandfather, he was a lawyer from Barbados, and he brought secondary education to the Cayman Islands.
Okay.
So I come
No,
into
because if you were royalty, you'd still be over there in the Grand Cayman being royal. You wouldn't hop on an inner tube to get the hell out of here. Y'all got that Caribbean Prince of Zamunda bullshit the Kenyan dude had. Y'all always try to act like y'all come from some royal lineage somewhere, but you had to flee from it. You are not from no royal lineage. You don't flee from royalty. Y'all were in shanty towns eating rat sandwiches, and you hopped on the first thing floating to get over here under foundational Black Americans so we can protect you from white supremacy. So miss me with all of that. We had mansions and yachts and all of this royalty. You didn't. All right, let's
okay,
stop that.
can I unpack some of the stuff that you said? Okay, so you said
Unpack it. Let's unpack.
that okay, in the Cayman Islands, you said that people are eating rat sandwiches. Sir, that's the fifth largest financial center in the world. That's the Switzerland of the Cayman Islands. I
Yes.
mean
And the people
of
there, the average citizens aren't benefiting from it. It's a banking hub where they wash money, where a few elite families benefit from it, particularly white British, and they are Negro puppets over there in the Caribbean, sir. The people there, the regular citizens, they ain't getting none of that paper. So let's don't play that game, all right?
so give me my reparations then, because your CIA work with Britain, work with France, work with Spain, work with Europe, and your government oppresses us. So give us reparations too, and we'll join hands with you and be more support.
That's not reparations for slavery. We have a very specific claim about slavery. I don't know what you
And
want
we are
reparations for. Well, you got reparations. Well, you were able to flee over here and eat off our tax dollars. That was your reparations, sir. So you're welcome. We already gave it to you. You being able to flee here and eat. That's your reparations right there.
I am a citizen of the Cayman Islands. I'm a citizen of Britain. I'm also a citizen of America. So nobody fled.
You're right. You're an anchor baby, and you're the only reason you're a citizen here is because of black people like William Nesbitt and other black folks on the grassroots who fought for the 14th Amendment and the 13th Amendment so that you can become a birthright citizen here, so that you can become an anchor baby. And that was foundational black Americans fighting for that, sir. So again, you're welcome. You already got reparations.
No. Before that, Italians came here and they paved their own way before Black Americans did all of that. So
No,
it's
they
not just
didn't.
because.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. No, we had the birthright citizenship going. That's why Italians were able to come over here. All right, they were able to flee from Italy, the slums of Italy, with the little crumbs in their pockets. And oftentimes they stayed among black people. They stayed around black people in New Orleans. We took care of Italian people. They stayed in some of the black areas. And how did Italians repay us? By forming the mafia and flooding us with drugs. So yeah, that's not really a good deal.
Let me ask you a question, Tariq Nasheed. What is your religion?
Doesn't matter, dude. Doesn't matter. That's inconsequential. My religion is black empowerment. That's the only religion I subscribe to, sir. But have you been over to have you went over to Italy to see some of the family who didn't flee, or are you not welcome in that side of the family because they're very funny style about the white men slumming when they get to the Western Hemisphere.
But yeah, I mean, because I'm not pure white, yeah, I'm not really accepted by that
Right.
side.
And again, you're welcome,
I
sir,
mean,
because you had to come over here to foundational black Americans because the white side wasn't really checking for you. So we had to feed you. We had to uplift you and have you get your shit together. So you're welcome, sir. Just a nice you're welcome should be great. You guys are very ungrateful for all the things we've done for you.
okay, let me ask you a question. What's the animosity? Did you get beat up in high school by a Caribbean
That's
guy
a
or by a
projection.
Nigerian?
Why would I have animosity in my own homeland against a foreigner who's not a threat to me? You're not a threat to me or any other Caribbean. Why would I have animosity towards somebody who who's down bad and having to flee? You don't hate down, you hate up, right?
Okay, but everybody that comes to America is not fleeing. I don't know why you love saying that. You just love saying that because
Because
you know
you know, because
it
you know no
is.
because no because we're not buying the whole Prince of Zamunda bullshit that y'all try to come over here with. Y'all try to make it seem like you were royalty back home and you came over here. You were invited by the Clintons and you had some kind of diplomatic immunity bullshit. No, you fled. No, you fled, dude. Let's stop it. Y'all stop lying. That's the problem I have is when y'all lie and y'all try to make your fleeing sound more dramatic than what it is. You just hopped on the inner tube and brought your ass over here because y'all were hungry and y'all needed somebody to feed you, and that was us. That's the long and short of it. Stop trying to lie to us with all of these tall tales of royalty. You're not royal, dude. You came and ate off us, and that's okay. Just show thanks and respect. That's all we ask. Right?
Actually, I am, because my great grandmother, she was an Indian from Nicaragua, and she was from a royal line
Okay, bro.
from the
Your
Miss.
family tree, dude. You got Caribbeans, Jamaicans, Italians, Nicaraguans, all these people in your family. You got the biggest family tree ever. Okay,
Do you realize maybe one day foundational Black Americans might get wiped out because they're all going to
and
get mixed in?
you got the biggest family tree all over the world, but you trying to finesse our reparations. You ain't trying to get nothing from Italy, nothing from Nicaragua, nothing from the Caymans, nothing from Britain. You over here with your hand out trying to dip into our damn plate, brother. Do you see how that's a problem?
You stole Afro beats, you stole reggae, you got Drake singing Afro beats and like dancehall style beats. So we all borrow from each other.
Do
We're
you
all
know
mixed.
where Afro beats came from? Fela Kuti said he got it from the black folks over here, sir. We didn't steal nothing. You got it from us.
They were doing that years ago in Africa and in the Caribbean too, bro. You stole
Fela,
soca.
Fela Kuti
You
said he
stole
got it from
soca
us. They got Afro beats
beats.
from us, sir. And the Afrobeats artists now are basically doing remixes of foundational Black American R&B songs from the 90s. So what you talking about?
Let me ask you a question though. The reason why I asked you that, because I noticed that you have all these like voodoo type things that you're selling. Like you got the voodoo deodorant. Like
Voodoo?
you're
I don't have voodoo
pushing like a
deodorant. I don't have voodoo deodorant. Voodoo is a religion. Nobody's over here practicing the religion of voodoo.
that's your god voodoo.
Voodoo is a religion. No, we have something about root work and hoodoo. Hoodoo is not a religion.
That comes from voodoo. The hoodoo, the voodoo is all the same thing.
No, it's not. Hoodoo is not a religion. Voodoo is a religion. They have
America,
deities, they have gods in there. No disrespect to them. I love the god of Ogun because it's all about fighting white supremacy. But hoodoo and root work, that's just about a spiritual connection to earth and nature. That's not a religion. That's a foundational Black
Christianity.
American culture. We were
But
we
if
were the we were some of the first doctors over here in the United States. We were the ones healing. We understood having a spiritual connection to plants and nature, and we would heal people with that. We still do to a certain degree. That's a part of foundational Black American culture. See, when you flee, you can have a culture that's rooted that you can dig back in and utilize later on. See, that's what not fleeing does for you. You have a culture to draw from and get strength from, sir. Right?
so, who fled me?
Uh-huh. You and your family. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Sir, what
Your whole
was
family.
this?
You come from a family of fleers, sir. Right?
How?
Your
How
ass ain't you ain't in Italy, you ain't in the Cayman Islands, you ain't in Nicaragua, you ain't in none of these places
Africa
you name. You over
are
here in my shit. You over here in our shit.
you
In the land that
are
foundational Black Americans built, sir.
are you in Africa? So you fled too. That's the same thing.
Where I flee from.
You fled from Africa.
When?
You you are if by your logic you're saying that I
How I
fled.
flee from Africa, sir?
You fled.
No, I
You
didn't.
said
Nobody in my family
in
fled,
some
sir.
previous videos you said there were black people here before Christopher Columbus. I
Uh-huh.
definitely that. So they fled Africa and they came here. So you're a
No, they
fleer
didn't.
to
No, no,
be
no.
how that works.
No, sir.
You're you're
Sir.
like
No, sir. My family built a whole country from the bottom up. There was no United States until my family built it, sir. Centuries ago. That's not fleeing at all. We're the only non-immigrants. We didn't go somewhere better. We had to build something better from the mud. That's different from what you did. You just packed some bologna sandwiches and a can of ragu, and your family hopped on a boat to Ellis Island and just started eating off us, sir. That's way different, sir.
kosher, so I don't eat bologna. I'm kosher.
Whatever you put on your ravioli, whatever, sir. But yeah, we didn't flee. We're the only non-fleers here, right?
Let question. What I want to do is a foundational. No, yes, I want your advice because I want to create an FMA lineage so that we can get reparations as well.
No,
Foundational mixed Americans because we don't really get a lot of respect on the white side. We don't really get a lot of respect on the black side, or if you're Asian and black, or if you're Chinese and Mexican, whatever. I want a foundational mixed American lineage to be more recognized in America, and I want us to get
but
our
it's a
own
but it's a
reparations. You don't
hold
want to share it with us.
on. Let's
We're
slow down.
going to get our own reparations, and we're going to get it before you.
See, there's a contradiction though. See, even the term. You're not foundational to America at all. You fled to America. So that by definition means you're not foundational. So FMA means fleeing to my America. So you fled here. You're not foundational, sir. You fled
So your wife is mixed, and you wouldn't want her to get a foundational mixed American reparations.
because her father's a foundational Black American. So she has a claim to the land, sir. She didn't flee.
Mother,
They didn't flee.
her mother, right?
It doesn't
So
matter. Dad foundational black American, sir. That's how that works. See, both of your
there's
parents,
black people,
both of your
there's
parents are
black
fleas.
people
Both of your
because
parents.
she's
Your mama fled with some curry, and your dad fled with some spaghetti. All right. So you got two fleas for parents. So you're not qualified. You're not foundational to anything, sir.
and your parents fled the South with some fried chicken and some biscuits.
And that shit is delicious. Our food is delicious, sir. Fried chicken,
So what
fried
I'm
chicken,
saying,
fried chicken and
is
biscuits.
also
Fried chicken and biscuits
so
are absolutely delicious, and they didn't flee anywhere because my family still lives in the South, and we live in the North, and we live in the West. See, we're still grounded and no, we're still rooted all over the United States. My family is still in in the South. See, we didn't flee. And plus, this is our country, so we can move around freely in the country that we built. All of this is our country, sir. We didn't flee to a whole new nation to get sworn in and leave what we
a
built
lot of
behind. You see?
you actors are fleeing. You're fleeing to Brazil. You're fleeing to Colombia, Japan,
No, we're
China.
not, sir. No,
Fleeing
no,
all
we're not.
over the
We're
place.
not. We're not fleeing in love. You have one or two people who might leave, but you guys have whole caravans of y'all fleeing here. Sir, have you seen the footage of your people, your fellow tethers? It's by the thousands. Y'all have whole parades of people on their way here fleeing, sir. That
Not
ain't
I.
that ain't comparable
Hate.
to like one or two people going to Brazil. That ain't comparable, sir. You're always trying to make somebody a fleer like you. It doesn't work.
Okay, Mr. Nasheed, let me ask you a question. If a bunch of black Canadians flee Canada, is that foundational black Americans fleeing? So if a bunch of Haitians flee Haiti or Jamaica or a bunch of Jamaicans flee, is that the
So
same?
anyway.
Because different country, that's a different.
Okay. Yeah. Let me land this point. He's just babbling at this point. His babbling just got real boring all of a sudden. All right. Some of that flea coping. A lot of people have to cope with fleeing. It's hard. So they got to do a lot of babble in order to cope with fleeing.